after the made shot from Ezail Iverson. Shot clock at 6. Teague, the pass to Millsap. Jumper off the screen, and it comes off the front of the rim.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there.
I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one. Well, clearly the 76ers were the youngest team in the league last season, and with all the draft picks they've stockpiled, they'll be the youngest team for a while, it seems. But if the youth can grow and develop, they could also be a force in a few years, too.
And Philadelphia making a change here. Roten's checked in. To give you an idea of how young this 76er team is, at one point last season, Greg, Tim Duncan had more seasons played in the NBA than the entire active roster of the 76ers.
That's hard to fathom. I mean, we all know there's this youth movement going on in Philadelphia, but they still need some veterans in that locker room. Very hard for the young players to lead.
And here is Roten after the three-pointer from Jeff Teague. Takes the three. And Ezail Iverson the bucket, the assist by Noel. And 12 points for Iverson.
Only took them a few seconds to answer the three ball with one of their own.
Greg, we've got a three-point battle taking shape here.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of Miami.
And really, I thought what was the difference in that game? Offensive rebounding, or the lack thereof. A lot of one-and-dones in that game.
Yeah, offensive rebounding to me is all about heart, the willingness to get in there and mix it up, do your work early, get to that inside position. And I didn't see any of that fight from them.
Now here's Korver looking for his first basket still in this one.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Roten kicks to Okafor. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
He is an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
You know, he fixed the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
Yeah, and in a close game, though, guys, those could be really important points.
Now Roten following Al Horford's three-point attempt. Now here's Roten. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
You can see where the Hawks rank in the league stats over the last 10 games. 8th in lowest turnovers per game, 9th in blocks. And they're a top 10 shooting team from the foul line. Pretty good company for that team.
And call me crazy, but I really believe turnovers are one of those game-changing stats. Their ability to avoid those miscues and make the right play consistently has been tremendously important.
Atlanta making a switch here. Max checked in, and Philadelphia also making a switch. Grant, he's checked in for Nerlens Noel. Mag dishes to Millsap. Kicks to Korver. Back to Millsap. And that one's good. Millsap's got 8 points.
That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
Iverson outside. Dishes it to Grant. Picked by Okafor. In the corner, it's Roten. The feed now to Iverson. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Okafor, the pass to Iverson. That shot is off, coming up empty for the second time this game. 4 for 6. Last year, a good one for Jeff Teague, Clark. He was a first-time All-Star in this league.
He's a pick-and-roll technician, so good in reading the defense as he operates from that spot on the floor. He was really the catalyst for what was a really efficient offense for the Hawks.
Millsap misses.
All the time in the world to get that one off.
For Philadelphia, they've gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. Here's Roten, takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
And really, he epitomizes what a point guard should be. I mean, his skills as a passer might actually be matched by that creativity he shows around the rim.
Well, judging by that jam, Greg, I'd say you're absolutely right.
Boy, that's a nice surge for them just when they needed it in a game that was so tight.
Horford. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Jeff Teague, a real speed merchant. I mean, very tough to stay in front of. He can put you on skates, blow by, and get right to the rim. And guys, Jeff Teague, an attack guard. He's just an average three-point shooter, but he gets to the free throw line in bunches, shoots at a high percentage, and has really revolved, I think, into one of the elite point guards in the league.
Splitters checked in for the Hawks.
Yeah, and Al Horford really has become one of those elite two-way big men. And that's very rare. You look at most bigs in the NBA, they excel at either one end or the other, but this is one of those guys that does it all.
And here is Teague following Tony Roten's 3. And Mack kicks to Splitter. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Splitter sets a screen. Pass to Mack. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket. And Horford at 6'10", a natural power forward who's been pressed into duty at the center spot, but he holds his own on the low block.
He also does a really good job, Kevin, moving his feet and covering in space, covering the pick and roll. He's outstanding in that regard, which is important in today's game. He's got mobility and a high IQ.
The Hawks trail by 4. Mack dishes to Teague. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Well, you just watched Jeff Teague. He's a natural scorer, Clark. He's also made steady improvement as a playmaker.
Yeah, you look at his assist rate, Kevin, well in the top 10 in the league. He's cut down on his turnovers as well. You can tell he's starting to really figure it out, and the game is slowing down for him.
And Teague's also athletic. You know, sometimes you forget that. I mean, this guy's got the tools also to be a terrific defender. And I still think he's developing consistency at that end of the floor.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hawks. Ken Bazemore comes in for Kyle Korver. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Shelvin Mack. Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Justin Holiday's checked in for Teague. Atlanta's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them.
And speaking of Jeff Teague's defense, I mean, his rebounding, I think, could also be a little higher. I mean, with his bounce, he can get in there and grab a few more.
Guys, he's got the length to get to the rim, and when he gets there, you never see a clumsy or awkward finish out of him. Everything is smooth and fluid.
And Al Horford is just a winner, guys. I mean, win 2 NCAA titles at his time playing for Florida. His teammates call him the Godfather because of how calm and quiet he is in terms of his leadership and the mentoring he provides. It's been the same here in the NBA.
And here are the 76ers now. Shots good. Guys, what a wild first half this has been.
I'd say, I mean, 8 lead changes, that speaks for itself.
Wow, back and forth start, that's for sure.
And it's Horford again missing. And that Florida team with Horford, Noah, and Corey Brewer, such a tight-knit group. All those guys still competing and defending at a very high level now in the NBA.
Each of those guys very team first in their approach. That's what they're about, winning. And because they've experienced championship winning, they stay locked in to that task.
Schroeder kicks to Horford. The Hawks again can't hit.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
Outside Landry. From the low block. Cannot hit. The Hawks trail by 3. Horford with it. 7 points in the game. And Holiday kicks to Splitter. Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the 76ers.
They pounded the ball inside in the first half, forcing the D to collapse, and that frees up the shooters going forward.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
Isaiah Cannon, he's checked in for Philadelphia. The 76ers leading by 3. Over to the wing with the shot. And it comes off the rim with a high bounce.
Well, I like the defense there. Right up in his grill, didn't give him a chance.
Here's Schroeder. Carlos Boozer pulls it in. Looking at Philadelphia, they took the win in their last game against the Bulls.
And Kevin, you know, they showed how important it is to have a strong bench. I mean, when you are on the road, that depth is vital. I think they really utilized the second unit to extend their offensive assault and just really wore down their opponent.
And guys, I think what you saw from them throughout the game was teamwork. This is a team. Regardless of who was out there on the floor at any given time, they got it done. And that has to make you feel good as a group.
Here's Schroeder. Philadelphia able to drain the 3. Horford no luck.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
Here's Marshall. Passes to Landry. Fires top of the key. And Carlos Boozer gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game. And the Hawks making a change here. Cephalosha's checked in. And Philadelphia also making a switch. Nerlens Noel checks in for Carl Landry. The Hawks trail by 6. The 76ers didn't lie to themselves about last season, Greg. They knew they weren't going to be in the playoffs. They spent a lot of time last season developing their young players.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, the third straight year the Sixers would miss the playoffs. But as you said, Kevin, they knew what the season had in store. The key was, could they keep those young guys focused on growth and experience and not get caught up in the fact that they struggled to win games.
Now here's Splitter. 11-point game his last outing. Now Schroeder. In the corner, Cephalosha with it. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. 3 on the clock. Splitter kicks it over to Schroeder. Answer the ball out of bounds. Splitter touched it last.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
23 seconds left here in the second. Now here's Marshall. Tight defense on him. Inside, out to Thompson. Down low. It's deflected and stolen by Splitter. Up the floor. Can they get it? And it's slammed in by Holiday.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And guys, in a game this snug, moments like that are the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker.
And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. 76ers on top, up by 4. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Carlos Boozer. And Carlos, this is a game that's had some back and forth. Does their approach require adjustments?
Yeah, they're a great team. I mean, we came out great in the first 5-6 minutes. They came back, and then we fought back. We didn't hold our head. You know, we were very resilient. So we're going to keep fighting to the end.
Carlos, thank you for the time. Gentlemen, back to you.
Thank you so much, Doris. Great interview as always. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back with the second half of basketball shortly.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And an exhilarating first half, to be sure. Welcome back. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be breaking down all the action for you. For the 76ers, the first quarter was pretty even. The biggest lead for them during the period was 6. The second quarter was a strong effort for them as they continued to battle, and they were able to close out the half in a good position. And from what we saw so far from the Sixers, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
Well, the reserves really came through when they needed a spark. This is a close game. Any points you can get from your bench are huge. I thought the bench guys came in and inserted themselves like they wanted a starting spot. And that's what you want. Subs who are ready to produce the moment they step on the floor.
And now, folks, it's just about time for the third quarter to begin.